There's a divide on YouTube. There's the collectors, and then there's everyone else. And there are less collectors than everyone else on YouTube, which is why people like Jeff Wilson gets 50,000 views, and Card Collector 2 gets 20,000 views. People are watching sports card content because they want to make money. They are not interested in collecting cards. They want to make money. So here's the secret. If you want to make $100,000 a year selling sports cards.
There's only one show, one show, one show, one show. There's only one show, one show, one show, one show. There's only one show, one show, one show, one show.
Welcome back to EDI Sports Show. Every Friday, I will go into the hobby we love with a hot take, where's the market, behind the scenes, and your viewer comments at the end. You can skip around or hit the like button and subscribe and watch this show later. You can save it for later if you don't have time right now to watch the whole show. I do apologize if I'm not looking directly at the camera the whole time. I have my notes here. So just to keep me on track, because otherwise I can talk forever. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Doc Schwartz. I'm a 40-year sports card collector. I'm a former teenage sports card dealer, and now I'm a lovable YouTuber. Hello. So this week's hot take has to do with making money with sports cards. So this is a controversial topic among collectors. Collectors want everyone to buy what you love. That's the basic, framework of collecting. Buy what you like, hold on to what you like, and get rid of things that you don't want. Why are you holding on to stuff? You're a hoarder if you're holding on to stuff that you don't like. Now, that was where I was. I sold 6 million cards over the last 5-6 years, and it's been an adventure. Anyway, so here's what I've found. I've been doing research on a new video, the 3 types of collections that you can actually create, because collectors want to know, how do I put together, how do I curate a collection that's going to be meaningful either to me or to someone else? Again, you can make a collection that only matters to you, or you can make a collection that matters to other people. There's 2 different sides to that coin. When you look in the art world, people have collections of art that only matters to them. That's why they spent the money, they put it up in their house, and those are the art pieces they like. Now, if you want to go and sell that art, you're only going to be able to sell that art if people want your art as well. So that's where the supply and demand comes in. The same thing with sports cards. You can buy all the cards you want. If the market doesn't want what you have, then you don't have a collection that other people care about. So you have to make a choice. Do I want a collection that I care about, or do I want a collection that other people care about? And that's your choice. I don't care either way you want to go. But everyone on YouTube that's not a collector, which is 90% of the people watching sports card content, they're not collectors. They are here to make money. And so this is the clash between collectors and everyone else, because collectors are not making money. Collectors are spending money. The other people are trying to sell stuff to the collectors. And this is where this clash comes in, because collectors don't want to spend the type of money that people are trying to sell them for. And that's why the market, and we'll get to this in Where's the Market, that's why the market seems to be crashing faster and faster every single day. That's it. That's the basic framework of this. The reason that the market seems to be crashing, again, we're going to get to that in the next segment, is because collectors don't want to pay the prices that people who are selling cards are charging. So what do we do? Now, here's where I want to take this hot take for this week is, can you make $100,000 a year selling sports cards? Can you make $100,000 selling sports cards? So if you want me to take a deep dive into that question, I want you to hit the like button, and I want you to put a comment down below, because then I'll make a video on a deep dive. I'm not going to do that here. I'm just going to go broad scope, how to make $100,000 a year on sports cards. So if you're ready, here we go. So let me answer the first question. Can you make $100,000 a year on sports cards? And the answer is yes. So now I got you interested. Now you're like, wait a minute, you can make $100,000 a year on sports cards? And the answer is yes, you can. Now, that doesn't mean that you're going to make $100,000 on sports cards. That doesn't mean that your friend's going to make $100,000 on sports cards. That doesn't mean that 99% of you are going to make $100,000 a year selling sports cards. But it's possible, which is why I hope that you're paying attention. So here's the first problem that most of you are going to run into. And we're going to do some math here because unfortunately that's part of the problem is you guys don't know math. So the issue is that when you look at $100,000, okay, so let's do $100,000. Boom, there you go. You're trying to make $100,000 in one deal. You're going to fail every time. You're not going to make $100,000 in one deal. So here's the secret number. You ready? Here it is on the screen. Do you see that number? I put it up quick. Do you want me to see it show it again? Here we go. That number, $1,923, is the secret number that you need to be aware of if you want to make $100,000 a year. Now, what does that number really mean? Now, I know you're going, what? What does $1,900.23 have to do with $100,000? Well, that's actually how much you need to make every single week. There are 52 weeks in a year. If you make $1,923 every single week, you will make $100,000 at the end of the year. Did you know that? That's called math. And that's the problem with most of you is you don't know math. So there you go. That's the first problem. But what that does, when you break it down and you stop looking at $100K and you start looking at $1,900 per week, this starts to make sense. Like now you can actually run a business because now your number is doable. Can you generate $1,900 a week? And now you have the problem is, how am I going to make $1,900 a week? Now, I said I'm not doing a deep dive in this video right here. This is just a hot take. So I'm just telling you that's what you need to do. You need to make $1,900 every single week, and you will make $100,000 at the end of the year. I'm not going into how you're going to do that. I'm not going to go into all the problems you're going to have. I'm not going to go into anything else. I'm just telling you, if you want to make $100,000 a year, then you need to make $1,900 a week. End of story. If you want to do this full time, you can. And if you want to make money, the secret number is $1,923. Now it's time for Where's the Market? Is the market hot or not? Right? I mean, let's face it. The reason that you come to this show is because I have this segment, Where's the Market? And you want to know, like, what is actually going on? Is the market hot or is it cold? And to be quite honest with you, the market right now seems to be cold. Now that doesn't mean that it's dead. I already did a video, Is the Hobby Dying? And you guys watched it. So I want to thank you all. It's over 2,000 views already. So the question in that video was, is the hobby dying? And the answer is no. The hobby is not dying. There's plenty of people still buying cards, but there's a different question between is the hobby dying or is the market hot? And that's the distinction. That's the separation that I want you guys to understand is that the hobby is not dying, but it's not hot anymore. All right. So back in 2019, 2020, and 2021, we had a hot market. That meant that literally everything you put on eBay was selling within a week. And not only that, but selling for more than you paid for it. So that's a hot market. That's basically where everything you have, people want. In a cold market, which is what we're in, you are not selling cards that quickly. It's not happening. I see on eBay so many listings that have been there for 6 months, 7 months, 8 months, even years, and people are not adjusting their prices. So what are you doing? Are you just hoping and praying that somehow this market's going to come back to being hot? That's not how it works. If you want the market to go back to being hot, you need to lower your prices and start getting people back into a buying mode where they're like, oh, wow, there's a lot of value out here. I want to buy cards and I want to sink money into cards. If you can change the psychology that the value is back, then you're going to actually see over the long term, at least the next 6 months, you'll see prices go up because people are willing to spend a little bit of money. The problem is that your prices on eBay are so high that nobody wants to spend. And what happens is when everyone's prices are high, then everyone says the prices are too much and I'm not going to spend anything. So you need to really adjust your prices. Now, what I've done is I've removed all of my eBay listings, all of them. I have no cards on eBay. I had a total of 15 cards on eBay. I sold 6 in a 6-month period, and I removed all the other ones, and I took all the cards to a card show, and I sold them directly face-to-face with a dealer. That's it. So I took them off eBay, and I sold them to a dealer. So I got the money, but I don't have to wait on eBay for someone to find my stuff and then go, yes, that's a good deal. I just sold it directly to a dealer. Now, did I take somewhat of a discount on that? Yes, but not as much of a discount as what I'm paying eBay. For all of you that understand, eBay's taking 13% off of your sales. So if I can sell it for less than 13% to a dealer, I've actually made more money, which is what happened. I sold it for 10% off instead of 30%. So I made an extra 3% on the cards I sold to a dealer. That's the market, and I hope that you're paying attention. Now let's go behind the scenes. Last week I showed you the bookcase that's behind me and showed you how I'm organizing. As you can see, there's a whole bunch more stuff back there if you're paying attention to my background. But what I haven't been able to do, because I've been moving and getting into a new studio and all these stuff, is I haven't done a mail day. And so I wanted to kind of show you guys what I am actually buying, what I'm trying to do. And like I said, I'm going to make a video on the 3 types of collections that you can create and curate. I'm trying to create one of those collections. And so I figured you might want to see what I'm actually buying. So let's get into it. Okay, so what we've got here is, again, sometimes people throw in just extra cards, so I do appreciate that. I'm not sure exactly what it is. So here is the extra card somebody threw in. Okay, don't know, but this is the card I actually bought. So here we go. And this card I've actually been trying to get for about 1.5 years now. So here you go. So this is the Heritage set. This is Jacob deGrom. I'm a Mets fan. I am a huge Jacob deGrom fan. Unfortunately, he's not going to pitch for a while. I'm hoping he will come back. Best pitcher of our generation here today. He literally is the best pitcher you will ever see pitch in your lifetime. I'm not old enough to have ever watched Sandy Koufax. I did get to see and I did get to watch Nolan Ryan, but Sandy Koufax, from everything people told me, was the nastiest pitcher ever. So Jacob deGrom is nastier than Sandy Koufax. So just so you're aware, if he comes back, it's a big if, you need to go watch him play baseball, because this is the GOAT of the modern era. All right, let's get to the second package, which is in a much nicer package. All right, so that was a lot of packaging for one card, but here we go. This is from the 1969 set, and this is So one of the things, and I'm going to explain this in that video about how to curate a collection. Remember, there's 3 types of collections. So these types of cards for my collection are critical to make the collection make sense. And that's the thing, is when you curate a collection, if your collection can tell a story, the collection will be worth more money. Not only that, but it'll be more appreciated by other people. Not just yourself, but other people. Because then when you bring out your collection, you can actually say to people, look at, this is the collection, and you could go through it with them and it tells a story. So these kinds of cards, they're not expensive. Like I paid like $2 for this card. So it's not an expensive card, but it fills in the gaps in my collection. Now, what I want to basically highlight, now that I showed you 2 cards that I got in the mail, and what I'm trying to do with my collection, is I've actually done in the Sports Card Journey. So that's the docu-series that I made for this channel. So my Sports Card Journey, there's 4 episodes. If you want to go back, you can watch them. The one that you all know probably is the one where I burned the Greg Jeffries rookie card. So that's the one you want to watch, because that's where I'm showing you how I basically sold millions and millions of cards over the last few years. Now, in that docu-series, a 300 card challenge. So here's the spreadsheet. You can download this spreadsheet for free if you want inside the Facebook group. I put the link in the description below. It's called Card Hoarder Nation. You can get all of the digital assets for this channel for free in that Facebook group. So if you want to do the 300 challenge with me or on your own, you can download that document in the Facebook group and you can start to curate a collection of the 300 most valuable and important cards for you. You should start making the collection make sense. That's why I'm putting out a video, hopefully within the next few weeks, on the 3 types of collections that you can do, so that you can start to understand, what is my collection? How do I curate it? How do I make it more valuable either for me or for other people? If you want that spreadsheet, go to the Facebook group. It is 100% free. And now let's get to your viewer comments. The Shohei Ohtani gambling controversy took up the entire week, and it should be no surprise to anyone that after Shohei Ohtani addressed the media, of course the media didn't want to let it go. And even Rich Eisen basically pontificated, well, Shohei must have done it. I mean, I don't know about you, but I've dealt with people for 20 years. I'm not a psychologist, but I understand human behavior, and I understand when people are saying things, whether it seems real and plausible or whether it seems far-fetched. And when people kind of make things up, you can kind of tell that the story seems to be diverging in that direction. What Shohei said seems so plausible that it's not even funny. So Rich Eisen, you don't know what you're talking about other than you just don't want the story to go anywhere. You're getting clicks and views because Shohei's in trouble. But here's what I decided to do. I ran 2 polls this week that you guys could vote on. And so what I want to do is show you the results of those polls. And the second poll is still up there right now. So if you want to vote, you want to give your 2 cents on this second question, you can still do that right now. Now, the first question that I put up there is this: should MLB suspend Shohei Ohtani? And for all of you that voted, 55% of you said yes. You said that Major League Baseball should suspend Ohtani. Now, that was before Ohtani addressed the media. That was when the first story got changed. First, that Ippei Mizuhara, who was interpreter, said, I gambled on sports and Shohei paid off my debts. And that seemed to be like, yeah, well, if that's what happened, then Shohei should probably be suspended. Then Shohei addressed the media, and I put this poll out. So this is only a couple days old. Do you believe Shohei is innocent? And I ask you to watch the video that talks about Shohei addresses the media. If you haven't seen that video, go watch that video right now. Shohei addresses the media, because that will tell you exactly what Shohei said. It's just a bullet point list of everything Shohei said. So you have to take that with a grain of salt. Do you believe Shohei or not? And based on whether you believe Shohei or not, then you can come to this conclusion. Now, according to Rich Eisen, Shohei is not innocent. He would vote no. So let's look at what you guys voted. And remember, this poll is still open. You can vote today. So give your 2 cents. Go to the community tab and put your vote in. But right now, this is where we are. Do you believe Shohei is innocent? 55% of you said no. 55% of you either watched what Shohei said or didn't watch what Shohei said, but you don't care. You're just like, nope, Shohei's guilty no matter what. I don't care what he said. Now, I caution you to just listen to that video. If you want to listen directly to Shohei, do that. There's video on Shohei's press conference. But I'm telling you that what he said is more plausible than the original story. It's more plausible than the original story. Now, for those of you that haven't been following this, Ippei has already lost credibility because apparently he fudged on his resume. Now, I know a lot of you are like, so what? He fudged on his resume. No. He completely fabricated his resume. It's not like I went to UC Riverside, but I never graduated, or I went to UC Riverside and I didn't pay the final bill, so they won't give me my diploma. That's totally fine. Like, if that's the story, and that happens with colleges, if you don't pay your bill, they won't give you the degree. Okay, but that doesn't mean you didn't take the classes. That doesn't mean that you didn't get the degree. It just means you physically don't have the degree, and that's a financial issue, not an academic issue. But that's not what Ippei did. Ippei literally put a college on his resume that he never attended, said that he graduated from it. Well, one, that's a flat out lie. So your credibility is shot right there. Then he said that he worked for the Red Sox, and the Red Sox have already come out and said, he never worked for us. So that's a second lie. And then the third one, which we don't have confirmation yet, he said that he worked for the New York Yankees. Now, the Yankees have not made a statement. They have not said whether that's true or false. So we don't know if that's true or not. Now, if the Yankees come back and say he never worked for us either, that's 3 strikes and you're out. So for all of you that think that Shohei's not innocent, the guy that's accusing him of all of these allegations has zero credibility, which means that I'm more inclined to believe what Shohei's telling me than Ippei, because Ippei's already been proven to be a liar. So, and nothing that Shohei has done has yet to be proven to be a lie. So I'm going to err on the side of caution and say Shohei's probably telling the truth because he has no incentive not to tell the truth. Like, if he lies, he's going to get himself in the hot water. If he lies, he's going to get suspended. He's better off telling the truth because whatever happens was going to be far less than lying. And that's what you all need to understand. All of you that like to lie out there in the real world, guess what? Your lie is making it worse. Just tell the truth. That's my hot take at the end of this show. But I want to thank you all for joining me this week. If you are new to this show, this is what we do every Friday. It's EDI Sports Show. I do a hot take. We look at where's the market. We go behind the scenes, and I do the viewer comments. Please make a comment down below. Tell me how you like the show. Tell me how you hate the show. Tell me how you hate me. If you like this shirt, this is a Smashing Pumpkins shirt. The world is a vampire. That will do it for this week's show. Tune in every Friday for the EDI Sports Show. Until next week, have a great weekend.
There's only one show that I want to watch. HOPPYEDI Sports Show drops every Friday. Every Friday. scene. Here with comics, talking the hobby from the streets to the car show. This be hardcore sports from the host with the most.
Only one show, one show, one show. Only one show, one show, one show. Only one show, one show, one show. Only one show, one show.